With what has been a pretty abysmal year for the film industry, movie viewers had high hopes to at least close the year out with a few highly anticipated films. One such film, Wonder Woman 1984, comes after multiple release date changes and after what has been one of the first years in over a decade to not host a major Marvel film adaptation. With DC Comics having such a rocky film history, this could have been their moment to shine, releasing a sequel to their most successful film in the DC Extended Universe. However, the movie fans received hasn't quite lived up to expectations. Wonder Woman 1984 stars Gal Gadot reprising her role of Diana Prince, aka Wonder Woman. Once again directed by Patty Jenkins, the film takes a leap forward in time from the first film's World War I setting to, of course, the year 1984. Now working as an anthropologist for the Smithsonian, Diana continues to secretly fight crime as Wonder Woman, and has shut herself off from people in general, having still not gotten over the loss of Steve Trevor in the first film. When the FBI asked Diana's colleague, Barbara Minerva, played by Kristen Wiig, to look into artifacts recently recovered from an attempted robbery Wonder Woman herself had stopped, amongst these items is a stone with the ability to grant anyone who holds it their greatest wish, while taking from them their greatest possession. Diana unknowingly uses the stone to quasi-resurrect Steve, once again played by Chris Pine, but begins losing her powers. Barbara accidentally uses the stone to become strong and powerful like Wonder Woman, ultimately putting her on the path to become iconic Wonder Woman villain, Cheetah. Also trying to get his hands on the stone for his own means is Maxwell Lord, played by Pedro Pascal, a well-known business and oil tycoon who is secretly broke and scraping by through lies and deceit. When Maxwell seduces Barbara to gain access to the stone, all manner of chaos and unintelligible convoluted plot ensues. Wonder Woman 1984 had many great ideas and tries to be many things. Most of these ideas are terribly executed, and we never fully come to understand what it is the film is trying to be, because the film doesn't seem to know either. Gal Gadot is still a stunning and fantastic Wonder Woman. Newcomer Pedro Pascal makes for a terrific Maxwell Lord. The rest of the cast are fine, if nothing special, but any fault from the characters is not in the acting, but entirely the writing and direction of the characters. For example, Kristen Wiig as the nerdy outcast who becomes a villain is cliched and stereotypical. Though Wiig herself doesn't do a bad job, she just doesn't have anything to work with. Not to mention, the epic reveal of her fully realized as Cheetah by the film's climax is completely underwhelming thanks to the lack of building the character as a threat and horrendous CGI. The film suffers from too many ideas and plot points, many of which feel unnecessary. The idea behind bringing Steve back is to give Wonder Woman closure and to teach her how to let go. But he is so underutilized that this lesson could have easily been learned without actually bringing him back. Instead, it only tarnishes the sacrifice he makes in the first film and offers us nothing new emotionally to get invested in, as it's clear from the get-go this resurrection is a one-off. Amongst other pointless parts of the film was the decision to place the movie in the 80s. The first Wonder Woman used its World War I setting to enhance the story, correlating Ares' actions with the war. Aside from a few jokes regarding the 80s, nothing about this movie required it to be set in that period, and nothing of interest is really done in the film to give it an 80s flair. I can say I did like Maxwell Lord's character arc of a nobody and fake businessman taking over the world as opposed to the stereotypical rich oil tycoon is bad. In fact, some of the better ideas were the ones surrounding this antagonist. But they too all fall apart. Cheetah is wasted and gets no real character growth, and could have been better utilized elsewhere. And the running theme of truth feels like Jenkins decided early on that she wanted truth to be the film's theme, but had no idea what she actually wanted to say about the subject. Ultimately, Wonder Woman 1984 is a jumbled mess of scattered ideas, many of them good, but alas executed horribly. Most of what we get is unnecessary bloat rather than character development or solid storytelling. I give Wonder Woman 1984 a 2.5 out of 4 stars.